Today, I want to talk to you about your special superpower. I'm going to talk to you about the tool that you have that is the utmost important tool for you to accomplish your goals as an interpreter. This is a tool that not every living entity has, not every living being can access it. Animals, for example, are able to feel. If we've had a pet, we've seen our pets even having dreams, and scientists have recorded animals problem solving and using instruments, but they don't have this special superpower. Only human beings have this power, and it's the power to make your dreams come true. And of course, I'm talking about willpower. Willpower is the most potent tool that you have at your disposal to make your goals a reality. And when it comes to interpreter training, it's the most crucial tool that you can count on. When we look at the word willpower, it's really interesting how it includes and alludes to the future. Willpower, the ability to shape your future. The best thing about willpower is that it's free. Everyone has access to it. You might be more aware of it. Some people might be less aware of it, and you might have honed it more than others, but everyone has access to this. Basically, when it comes to willpower, it's about looking at the world in a mindset of getting from point A to point B. Point A being where I am currently at, and point B is where I want to get to. And people who think strategically like this, people who have this mindset of being very clear of where they're located and where they want to go, are the most successful people. I want to talk to you about 2 ways to self-sabotage that I have been able to identify as an interpreter trainer. And I want to talk to you about these 2 ways in which people, set themselves up for failures and shoot themselves in the foot, because I want you to be able to avoid falling into either one of these 2 traps. Both of these 2 traps have to do with the ego. And it's very important for you to get the ego out of the way so you can go for your dreams. The first trap is self-negative talk, negative self-talk. These are the people that are incredibly hard on themselves. They're always seeing themselves as failures. They feel like they're too slow, like they're hopeless, like they're not good enough. Negative self-talk is incredibly detrimental to reaching your goals. It is, you're doing yourself such a disfavor when you're criticizing yourself in an absolutely overwhelming manner. It can kick in when you're interpreting. And then that inner talk that you have telling yourself how bad you are, how slow you are, how your memory's bad, how you don't have enough vocabulary in your arsenal, that can really freeze you. And it won't let you access your real cognitive skills and your real knowledge. Negative self-talk can also kick in when you evaluate your work and you realize there's some areas that need development. Remember, every single interpreter, the most knowledgeable and successful interpreter in the world, began as a beginner. Everyone started off from scratch. And that's true to anybody that you admire, whether it's in sports, in philosophy, and art. The greats started out as beginners. So don't be hard on yourself. Embrace the journey. Be very generous with yourself. If you're generous with yourself, you will have the emotional bandwidth to be able to continue challenging yourself. But if you're beating yourself up, you're going to be exhausted and depleted, and you're not going to be able to make that investment. So no matter how hard you work, if you're too hard on yourself, you're never going to be able to hit the target. The second trap is for those people who have way too much ego, and they're always looking at whatever material they've chosen to study with to criticize it. They're scrutinizing it with the goal of finding defects in the materials that they're working with. Now, this might mean that more than being invested in your development and in your training, you are hypercritical of the material that you're working with. Now, I have to let you know that there's nothing perfect under the sun. We in Interpretrain have counted on the blessing of having a PhD linguist, Gabriela Castellanos, check over all our work. She also used to serve as an interpreter for the U.S. State Department. We've had people like Virginia Benjamin, who is a published author of a bilingual dictionary. We have counted on so many incredible people to put their energy into creating the best material that we can. And I know my competitors and my fellow colleagues who offer material have done something like that too. They're trying to put their best foot forward. But the truth is there's nothing perfect out there. So if you're just scrutinizing the material and investing all your energy into finding fault in the material, you're setting yourself up to fail. That energy should be invested in your training. And if you do find fault in the material that you're working with, there's nothing perfect under the sun, then you take stock of it and you move on. But you don't use it as an excuse to say, I'm not going to use this material because I'm too good for it. Basically, I'm too sexy for my car. That mentality is going to definitely set you up to fail. So what I'm talking about is checking your ego at the door. Don't fall into either one of these two traps of being so hard on yourself or being so hard on the material that you find excuses not to devote yourself to it. Again, it's about looking at things in a very rational way, not letting your ego get in the way. It's about, I'm in point A and I want to get to point B. So if I find things that are areas that I need to develop, great. This is my point B. It's not a reflection of who I am. It doesn't mean that it's hopeless. By that same token, if I find any fault in the material or anything I would like to improve, that still doesn't take me off of this mindset of where I want to get to. Another beautiful thing about willpower is that it's the power to overcome your obstacles. So often we are very clear on all the things that stand in our way, all the impediments to reach our goals. I can't do it because I don't have enough time, because I don't have enough money, because I don't have anybody to take care of my kids, because I don't have this or I don't have that. So what I usually tell my students is to make a list, to take a piece of paper and divide it into two columns. In the left column, make a list of all the obstacles. And these can be very real obstacles. And be very sure to itemize each obstacle as specifically as you can. In the right side of the paper, on the other column, you're going to write a solution for each one of these obstacles. So for example, I don't have enough money can become, I'm going to talk to my accountant to see if this is tax deductible. I'm going to see if I can put this on my credit card. I'm going to see if they have a payment plan. For example, Interpretrain has payment plans to help you pay things with more ease. A great way to solve the issue of I don't have enough time is basically getting up early. Getting up half hour early, getting up 1 hour early. It could be 5 times a week. It could be 3 times a week. It opens up a lot of time in your day. Another advantage of studying first thing in the morning is that you are fresh, you are well rested, and there's nothing that's going to become an excuse. Oh, I had such a busy day. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I had so much stress today. No, you're starting out fresh from a clean slate. And also you're starting off with the right foot. You're starting off on the right foot. Your day has started with you investing in your goal. That's going to set the tone for the rest of your day. That's going to mean that your mindset for the rest of the day is going to be focused on that goal. Another important thing when it comes to time is to carry your material with you and study during any break that you get, during lunch breaks, studying during wait time. Interpreters have a lot of wait time. So make sure that you open up yourself to always having your material with you so you can take advantage of all that time. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention again about the early bird gets the worm is that when we're just have woken up, we are still in that semi-dreamlike state. Cognitively speaking, we are still incredibly receptive to information. They've studied, different people who have been trying to remember a list of words or just remember a list of dates, any type of information, but they do it first thing in the morning once they've showered and they're fully awake. And their brain is still in this middle state between the dream world and the awake world, if you will. So we're incredibly open to new information in that state. So take advantage of those early hours. Another important thing to do, and it can really help you when it comes to motivation, is to have a study buddy. Um, if you can't meet with somebody in person, meet with them over the phone, meet with them on Skype, meet with them through Zoom. Even if you're in different time zones from your study buddy, you can work through email and you can send each other your audio files, because you're always going to record yourself when you're interpreting and training to become an interpreter, and then comparing your interpretation to the text. And you can have somebody else listen to your audios and you listen to somebody else's audios, and that will give you a fresh perspective. So on the one hand, it'll give you motivation and commitment, and on the other hand, it will give you very important feedback. Sometimes the commitment that we have to others is stronger than the commitment that we have with ourselves. So, oh my God, it's been such a long day. It's 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't really know if I want to study today. But if we know that we're committed to somebody else, we are going to get it done. Make sure you schedule in study time. If you have a smartphone, go ahead and program it into your calendar, set up reminders. If you have a paper calendar, go ahead and write the days that you plan to study and the specific times, and stick to that schedule. So even though you're carrying your material with you and you're studying any chance you get, you're also setting up blocks of time that are going to be devoted to studying, and stick to the plan. Very importantly, invest in yourself, whether that's time or financial resources or efforts. Don't cheat yourself. Don't leave anything up to being able later on to regret not having put your best foot forward. Invest everything that you can into setting yourself up for having the right conditions, whether it's I'm going to invest in a babysitter to take care of my kids, or I'm going to ask my family members for help. Remember, these are sacrifices that you're going to be making for short periods of time. So it might be 6 months, it might be 2 months, however long you've given yourself to prepare for your goals. It's not going to last forever, and it will be worth it. A great tip as well is to keep little Post-it notes in visible places. For example, on a mirror, in your cubicle, on your fridge, little Post-it notes reminding you of the goals that you want to accomplish so you don't get distracted. Now, why is willpower so incredibly important for an interpreter? Because everything that means success to an interpreter is gained through work. You're going to have to develop skills. That only comes through practice. You're going to have to develop vocabulary. That only comes through cramming. So if I could have invented a downloadable program where you would just attach it somehow onto your frontal lobe and it would download all the information you need, I would be a billionaire and I would be incredibly famous. But we all know that doesn't exist. I can't give you a magic pill. I can't even give you a shot. It's going to be through work that you're going to be able to accomplish your goals. The beautiful thing is that you do have the power to make your dreams come true. It is a tool that you have that not every living being has. So we're incredibly fortunate to be able to set ourselves goals and to go for them. Interpret Train wishes you great success in your quest to become the best interpreter you can be. We are always posting free online resources on our website, on our blog, as well as on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure that you follow us online, on social network places, and we are here to support your goals. You can do this. It's absolutely within your reach to make your dreams a reality.